Shrine Bowl, Frisco, Texas, the Star. You're going there to research some of these players, check them out, maybe do some features there. Charles, who are you looking at, some of the guys that you are focusing on at the Shrine game this week?
Well, when we're not being pummeled with Shedeur and Dion travel through Jerry World and the Star and everything that he's built over there and whatever media monsoon comes with that.
Have you been to that facility?
No, it's going to be my first time.
I've heard it's pretty incredible. Yeah,
it's got to be. It's Jerry
involved. It's Jerry. I know. Yeah.
Look, he's giving walkthroughs, right, and tours to people. So I would imagine it's pretty sweet looking.
You're watching practice through the glass case, the plexiglass,
tapping on the door while Dak's lifting weights. The one thing you touched on at the start of the show, but the Shrine game has really upped its personnel quality over the past year. So I remember when I was like, no offense to like people that I know, but like guys that I played high school football with, like they were ended up in the Shrine game, like solid, solid college players that, you got a fringe chance. A little day three guys. Yeah. But still to be in that spot is crazy.
Jake Moody won the MVP of the Shrine Bowl a couple of years ago. That maybe is my best example of what it used to be.
Exactly. And now just a few years later, you have 3 potential first round picks this year with Shedeur Sanders, who was a lock. Kenneth Grant, defensive line from Michigan, who I would
who's
say
one of your babies.
One of my babies. And then maybe one of the wild cards of the draft was Shavon Revel.
Yeah. Revel.
Revel.
Revel. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh.
I know. For me, it's Carolina.
Yeah,
I might not be right. I need Dane Brugler to come up with his name pronunciations.
No, when I think of Revel, who I think of. I was like, oh man.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Got it.
But like having those 3 guys, I don't know if Revel's going to play yet because he did miss last year with an ACL injury. But having those 3 guys brings a lot of legitimacy to it. And if you just look at like some consensus boards, guys like Trey Harris, a wide receiver from Mississippi, is a potential top 50 pick. You've got a few top 100 guys. So I'm actually excited to go and watch. It's not like when you used to be like, oh man, if I don't go to Senior Bowl, I'm not going anywhere. Like this is actually a pretty good game with some guys that you might have heard of over the years.
Yeah, it's nice that it's not just seniors anymore. They've loosened up those restrictions for both the Shrine and, ironically, the Senior Bowl, ironically named Senior Bowl. No, but I agree with that. I think it's good too that Eric Galco, who runs it, brings in the injured guys like Revel, and that way, I mean, Zay Flowers was at the one a few years ago as well. Just get them around. Interviews are as much as anything for these, and medicals and the weigh-ins for some guys. Now so many guys opt out, so it's changed the math on everything. But that is just as big for these players as their on-field performance. And as much as you see plenty of clips of one-on-ones, those big, not even just a grain of salt, big kilogram of salt when you would check out those one-on-ones and everything, especially with one-on-one receivers and DBs. Oh my God, when you get the 14-step routes. But it's still a good thing. You see these guys. It's good for small school guys like Revel. If he were healthy, it would be a great week for him coming from East Carolina last year at the Senior Bowl. That's when Quinion Mitchell really was like, no, I'm not only just good and talented, I'm like a beast. And it was just, and he was taking it to all these guys playing in different, you might be in a defense or an offense that only does certain things. So it's good to get under NFL coaches. Hey, we're going to be more pro style. We're going to be doing this way. We want you to do this technique. We want you to press. We want you to be under center if you're a quarterback. Like we want you in a 3-point stance if you're an offensive lineman. We want you guys to huddle. Some of you guys have never huddled in your life. So it's huddle. Like just things like that are really cool to see too. But, so yeah, Revel, Nazir Stackhouse from Georgia, defensive lineman, who I feel like I've talked about for 10 years now. Kenneth Grant, Mitchell Evans is a guy I'd want to check out. It's a tight end from Notre Dame. Got hurt last year, kind of worked his way back this year, but I'm really interested in him as a round 3, round 4 guy. Ricky White, receiver from UNLV, maybe one of the best special teamers in this entire draft. Also, UNLV was a lot of fun to watch this year. My local team now, but he's another one I would be checking out there too. So, no, I think it's a fun Shrine Week, even outside the Shedeur Sanders and the Sanders family hoopla, which will get a lot of hype. There's just a lot of cool players to watch out too. So make sure to check those things out.
I think we still got a long way to go for draft season. We'll definitely spend a lot of time digging into it.
Yes,
we got some plans coming. But I think Revel This is it triggered like my mid 2000s NFL brain when I watched some of his cut ups.
Yeah.
The first name that came to my mind was Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie.
Yeah.
Because
his limbs are everywhere.
Yeah, 6'2", limbs everywhere, fast as hell from a small school. I was like, oh,
that's a good one.
Kind of giving me those vibes. And then when I look back at Dominique's career, it was better than I had remembered it. Like he made a couple Pro Bowls and All-Pro teams. So that's interesting. Like even have a guy with that level of ceiling here is cool. There are some under the radar guys. Like we'll talk about guys like Kenneth Grant moving forward. We'll hear a lot about Shedeur Sanders, obviously. But one guy that I've loved watching over the years that I might end up too high on is Clemson running back Phil Mafah. He kind of reminds me of like a really watered down version of what Leonard Fournette was at LSU, where it's it's
that's just a funny cop.
There's not much side to side, but if you give him a runway, he's big, he's fast in a straight line. Hey, it plays.
He's an I formation running back.
Yes,
that's. Yeah.
Yes.
Leonard was born 20 years too late.
He really
Leonard
was.
In 1994. Oh my God, that's an I formation running back. That's a great little comparison there.
I haven't watched this guy play. I don't really know where he is in terms of NFL status, but San Jose State wide receiver Nick Nash. Just from a stats profile, he's got to be interesting.
Really productive.
Yeah, super productive. He's older. I think he played 6 years at San Jose State, but he's a guy who's a former quarterback. I think they had him as like a wildcat guy kind of earlier in his career. But he came out as 6 years senior this year. He's going to be in the strong game. 104 catches, almost 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns. And he's one of those guys where that was maybe not expected when you look at the rest of his career in terms of
basically like lapped his whole career stats, right?
Yes. He had more. He had, I would say, like maybe 40% of his 40% more of his career totals in this 1 year. He had 700 yards last year and not more than 100 yards in any year. But actually, not even more than 70 yards in any year before that. So I don't know what the prognostication is for his career or what people are saying, but that's a guy, obviously, who has a big week, and just getting the production at least gets you a chance to perform. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, he had 830 career yards going into this year and then had 1,382. But hey, so that's the thing, though. If you can change positions, the timeline is different. Like, it's almost like it resets. It's like, he just changed to that. So that changes the math. No, that's a great shout out because he was so productive this year. All-American by some publications and everything. So, no, good shout out there. I need to watch him. I did watch one game of him. That's a lie. I did watch him. I liked him. So, yeah. No, fun. All-Star games, Senior Bowl, Shrine Game. Check out Chuck's stuff coming up. I think it's going to be very, very fun.